All right, welcome back to Brent Explaining Random Things. Today we're going to be talking about a slightly more complicated thing in the law, and that's accomplice liability, which we're going to get from Model Penal Code 2.06. Going back over the way I'm breaking this down, we have the Model Penal Code, the conduct that's going to go into accomplice liability. That's the majority of this. Then we have the attendant circumstances, and over here's the results. And I'll move the camera when needed for that. So, what does it mean to be an accomplice to a crime? Someone is an accomplice to the crime if they're part of a conspiracy. So they're working together for the commission of a crime. When somebody is an accomplice to a crime, they are guilty of all actions taken by their co-conspirators. Simple example. You and I are going to go commit armed robbery. During that robbery, you shoot somebody. I'm guilty of that murder. So that's the idea for accomplice liability. So, what are some of the conducts that have accomplice liability? Well, one or two important words: promoting or facilitating. So promoting or facilitating. An accomplice is promoting or facilitating a crime. We don't need to be doing the same things. This is how getaway drivers are charged with all the crimes in the robbery. They are promoting and facilitating the crime by providing an essential service for the crime. The next one is that they solicit another person to commit a crime. So solicitation. This could be, I say, hey, you're my getaway driver. I'm going to rob a bank. Come along with me. Let's go. That's solicitation. So you're guilty of part of the crime. That's how people can get into accomplice liability. Moving onward, the last one is the violation of a legal duty. So somebody has, they ask or agree to attempt the crime, and the person has a legal duty to prevent the crime or the commission of the offense. So what this means is you can be complicit in a crime. Now, when you are complicit in a crime, this means you know it's going to happen. You know what everybody's going to do, but you don't do anything to stop it. Now, that doesn't put full liability. What puts full liability is when you're completely complicit in the crime, and then you do even a little bit to aid it. So that's complicity. I know I probably spelled that wrong, but hey, I'm in law school for the law, not for spelling. So, there we go. So let's talk about attendant circumstances. I'm going to move my camera a little bit for attendant circumstances. This is pretty simple, the commission of the offense. So what is the offense? That's the attendant circumstance. When charging somebody with criminal being an accomplice, we're just asking, well, what were they an accomplice to? That's the attendant circumstances. That's what changed it. And then result, we don't actually necessarily need a result here. You can be an accomplice to an attempted crime. And some people are searching around for someone to mug, and you're helping them search. You're now an accomplice. A result is not needed. The crime does not need to be completed. So that's a few basic things on accomplice liability. It overlaps a lot with conspiracy, which I'll do a video on. But it just makes sure that if people are committing a crime together, they're liable for what the other person does. Now, here's an important note. They're only liable for what is done in furtherance of that crime. So here's an example. If you and I rob a bank, and you go and murder every police officer in a 100-mile radius to make sure that we're never caught, is that in furtherance of our crime? Yes, it is. You're trying to make sure we get away free. But it's not foreseeable. It's not foreseeable on my end that you would do something that insane. So I'm not guilty of all those murders. Just you are. So you need an amount of foreseeability and, frankly, logic that goes from the original crime to the actions taken by the other person. This only goes to a certain level, though, because if you and I are committing robbery, I think it's unarmed, and you come in armed, I should have foreseen that because it's robbery, and you could have just had a weapon with you. I mean, we do live in quite the gun-carrying country. So that's a little bit about accomplice liability. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment. If I got anything wrong, let me know I got it wrong. I have an exam on this, so I'd love to know if I got it wrong. Thank you so much.